I'm here with Pam Strohmeyer from Raymond. She is in Michigan, and we are talking about college recruiting. She had some interesting insight into some of the challenges that she has college recruiting for a company that many people listening to this, watching this, may not have heard of, and how she's overcoming those challenges. So tell us a little bit about what is difficult in your college recruiting and what you're doing about it.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak. I'm the director of campus recruitment at Raymond, and we are we are an accounting firm. We're local in Michigan, but we also have offices in Ohio and in Florida. But one of the things that we run against with campus recruiting is that we get a lot of students that want to go to the Big Four, which is, either Deloitte, Ernst & Young, PwC, or KPMG. And so probably one of my biggest struggles is trying to show students that you can have just as much of a successful career with more of the local or the mid-sized firms than going to the Big Four. So one of the ways that we have been able to overcome some of those challenges is to make sure that we get on campuses, talking with students in some of the accounting groups that they have on campuses, attending social programs that the accounting clubs will sponsor at the different universities. Another thing that we do is we try to start reaching students when they're freshmen, to get to know them, to develop those relationships. Because what I've really found with campus recruiting is that students really want to know that you really care about them, that you are genuine, and that there's a place for them and within your organization. And you just, you can't learn that your senior year in college. You have to develop those relationships with those students when they're freshmen so that they can learn about that.
I recently did a blog post on my blog on ERE.net, community.ere.net, about my search for dog food. And my search for dog food was difficult because my dog has for 7 or 8 weeks not wanted to eat any dog food. And so some stores would have me just buy the dog food. I have to figure out whether I would be wasting my money. Others would give me a sample of it, and the ones that gave me a sample, if he would eat it, I would buy it. So with that in mind, is there anything that you're doing to give candidates a sample of your workforce? Are you allowing them to call employees and hear what it's like to work there, or to meet up with employees or anything like that? If so, do you give them the names of employees, or can they call anyone and hear about what it's like to work there? Or tell us a little bit about how you let them sample or be transparent about your workforce.
Okay, that's a good question. What we do is I will let students call any person in the organization that they want to talk to. If they know of someone, I can give them a list of names, or I can say these are the people that went to your school that are now with our organization. If you want to call them, ask them what their experience was. What their experience was while they were in school, kind of like coming from the classroom to the cube. And so that's one thing, is that they can just talk with their associates anytime. Do
you have any idea if they do that?
Yes, they do it.
Okay.
The other thing that I have done is I'm starting to match students with some of our associates that went to the school where these students are at, to be mentors for them from the time that they're a freshman up until their senior year. I'm just now starting to do that. So that mentoring is very important to Generation Y. Another things that we do to help students know who we are is that we have recruiting nights in our organization in September, just before recruiting season starts, where we will invite any student to come. It's a 3-hour event where they'll hear about what we do as our organization, but what we really want to emphasize is not so much who we are as Raymond, but how can we help you to be able to find what's the right fit for you. We'll tell them about Raymond and who we are, but we don't put a lot of emphasis on that. We put more emphasis on how can you judge what is the right fit for you? How do you know that you're getting into the right organization?
Well, sorry, go on.
We also, during those recruiting nights too, we'll break students up into teams, and they will go around, have a tour of our office and have different stops on the tour, so they'll get a chance to talk to someone that is in tax or in audit. They'll be able to talk to someone who's in finance in our Raymond Financial Division, or they'll have an opportunity to talk to someone in our private investigative services that is former FBI agents, and what they have for students when it comes to forensic accounting.
Mm-hmm.
So it really, again, students will have that opportunity to get a whole flavor of what the whole organization is all about. And then after the tour, they have an opportunity to network with different associates. And that's when, again, we start making some connections with students. And those students that come, those students that show interest, those are the ones that we end up usually interviewing on campus and then bringing into our organization for our internships and then hiring them full time.
One more thing, and that is the ERE Recruiting Excellence Awards panel this year. Yesterday, the woman from Sodexo, Ari Ball, said that stability is one of the things, surprisingly, because you don't hear as much about it, that employees want. They want a stable job, not just a job that lets them move up, not just an exciting mission. They want a stable job. And someone else from EY, I think, mentioned they want upper mobility. So, do you have any insight into what you're hearing from job seekers, their wants, their needs, what's maybe different now from a year or 5 years ago? Are they more cynical because of the layoffs and corporate scandals? Anything that you're hearing or feeling from seekers?
What I'm hearing from them is what we talked about yesterday, is that they do want stability. They definitely want stability. They want to know that their voice is being heard. They want to know that there is career opportunity for them to advance, that they're going to be developed, that they'll have mentors that will help them develop them throughout their career. Another thing I think that's important to students is that they have to know that the organization is giving back to the community through community service, and that's another thing that our organization does. They want to make a difference. They want to know that what they're doing is making a difference in a person's life, in a company. I'll have a lot of students who will just tell me that they want to go into consulting because they want to help people. Well, in order to go into consulting, you still have to know how to consult and what to consult on.
Sure.
So, but it just tells me that students are much more looking at, they want to advance in their careers. They're not, and I tell students all the time, you're not looking for a job, you're looking for a place to start your career. This is what you're going to be doing probably for the rest of your life. So you want to make sure that you have done your homework, that you've researched those companies, that they have those values, that they have that mission, that statement, that they have a strategic plan, so that they're going in the same direction that you want to go in. So I feel like with students, probably the number one thing that I have them ask me the most is, will there be a place for me? Will I be able to advance in my career? And is it stable? And
as you said, does it make a difference?
It doesn't make a difference. And a lot of people say with Generation Y right now that they're not loyal. I find that I think they will be loyal. I think they'll be very loyal if they are in that right atmosphere, if they have that right stability within an organization, if they know that there's good communication within the organization. Our president of our organization will come into our offices, and we have 11 offices in Michigan, and he'll walk around and he'll talk with people. He'll remember people's names. He will ask you something about some personal, maybe a personal thing that maybe happened within you. He wants to know who you are.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yeah. Well,
when you have that personal contact.
Thank you. This has been interesting and informative. I think it's something that I just was thinking in these last few minutes of you talking, and that I think both recruiters and college students, I think, would benefit from the advice that you've just been giving. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity just to